Welcome back to Vikings Game Plan. This is the winning formula. Wobby from Vikings.com, Ron Johnson, Fox 9's Vikings Game Day Live. Playing time in the first preseason game is handled differently with all teams around the country. Ron, when it comes to the Vikings in this game against New Orleans, for the luminaries, Cousins, Diggs, Thielen, all the biggest players, what's your angle?
I'd say one series if it looks good, similar to the Denver Broncos game last year. You know what Kirk Cousins can do. You have Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen. You know they're going to be your guys. You don't want them to get hurt early on. You want these younger guys to get a chance to play and see what they can do.
I think injuries are going to play a factor in this. We did not see Dalvin Cook participate in the night practice over the weekend, so things like that can pop up. Maybe guys become unavailable, and then the guys right behind those players have more opportunities. So I think Zim's going to have to parse out the reps carefully with 2 short weeks in the preseason, something that tends to happen this time of year. He's going to have to figure out the schedule of the playing time, but whoever we don't see a lot of in week 1, I think we'll see more of at home in week 2.
And there are going to be Vikings making debuts, myriad Vikings. We have free agents, Sean Mannion, Josh Klein, but there also are some prominent rookies. Now, last week on Vikings Game Plan, Wobby had the opportunity to sit down with rookie tight end Irv Smith. And I thought it was very compelling when Irv, a New Orleans native, conceded how excited he was for this preseason game in New Orleans.
Yeah, and that's part of it. You know, these preseason games most of them are at night under the lights, and for a lot of players, especially the rookies, it's a big spot for them, even though it's an exhibition game. So how do those guys perform in that scenario? Mentioning Dalvin Cook not participating in the night practice, let's say the Vikings are cautious with him and hold him out. Alexander Mattison will get a lot of playing time, I would imagine, in this game. So I think it'll be fun to watch these rookies make their NFL debuts. There's a lot of them. We have a 12-man draft class plus a bunch of undrafted guys. So we'll see how they perform under the lights.
Yeah, I'm excited about Irv Smith. I want to see him in the slot because he's going to play a lot. Kyle Rudolph might not go this first game just because he's a little, hampered right now. But I'm really excited to see Jordan Taylor because if you look at these receivers, we keep talking about receiver 3. Most likely him and BB are 3-4 with Treadwell 5. I want to see what Jordan Taylor can do because he's played for the Denver Broncos. He's had some NFL experience. Yep. He is 6'5". He's a red zone target that Kirk Cousins is not a great back shoulder throw guy. He wants to throw jump balls, and Jordan Taylor could be that guy.
Well, also with debuts, Sean Mannion, former quarterback with the St. Louis and LA Rams. Mike Zimmer said this at his Monday press conference early in the week. QB2 has not been settled, and undrafted Jake Browning has really opened some eyes during training camp. Sean Mannion has experience coming from the McVay offense, and Kyle Sloter has been here. So QB2 truly starts to get settled in the Saints game.
And I think we talk a lot about how important it is for the backup quarterback to be good at preparing for an opponent and help the quarterback study. But the backup quarterback also has to be able to play. Yep. I mean, Zim wants to see the guys who can make the throws. If you're Sean Mannion, you want to play with, in the preseason game, the guys you've been throwing to in practice. And if that gets mixed up, it can cause some problems during the games.
Yeah, and he hasn't gone a bunch with Diggs and Thielen, so he will get some of his guys, BB, Treadwell, and Jordan Taylor in there, and then Irv Smith as well. So, but you're right. The guys that have used to your balls, that's who you want in the game. You don't want to be in there if you haven't really had that rapport with them just yet. So, I think that's going to be a key is who's in and who's running that 2 series and then that 3rd series.
Now, in this New Orleans preseason game, it's going to be a little bittersweet and a little emotional. That guy, Teddy Bridgewater, back up to Drew Brees. Teddy probably will play a fair amount in this game. Likewise, for several former Vikings, Teddy Bridgewater with the New Orleans Saints. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and Zim was asked about it earlier in the week, and he's like, we're going to go after Teddy the same way we'd go after anyone. But, I mean, there is going to be a moment or two where Zim, in pregame, goes over and sees those guys. I mean, Nick Easton is a guy who suffered a pretty bad injury and rehabbed really hard and worked hard to get back for the Vikings and played really as a regular starter for 2 seasons. Marcus Sherrill's best punt returner in team history playing for the Saints. So I'm sure he'll have a moment with some of those guys before the game.
Yeah, I don't know if Marcus is going to play much. I mean, he might do a couple fair catches here and there. But you're going to see Latavius Murray, in the game most likely. And then, Teddy's going to be their guy for probably, Drew Brees maybe won't even do much. He's going to play just a little bit.
Here you see Marcus Sherrill's, like Wobby said, the greatest punt returner in the history of Minnesota Vikings football. By the way, an extremely accomplished gunner. Yeah. Now, that's minutia, that's hardcore, but gunners are really important to punt coverage. They're the guys who line up on the outside and are generally the first to get there. You know, that's a role the Vikings are still trying to fill via training camp.
And when you have a roster with a lot of returning starters, which the Vikings have this summer, that's the kind of minutia that should interest us.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to find.
Big time.
Who's going to be a gunner along? Probably Jaron Curse will be one.
Yeah.
But who's going to be the other one?
Yeah.
And speaking of Sherrills, by the way, we have 2 return jobs open: kickoff returner and punt returner. And this game against the Saints is the first audition for a lot of players.
And Amir Abdullah, I think he has to show he can be a good kick return guy. He wants to be that third running back.
Yeah, with Amir Abdullah, maybe the third running back, I wouldn't rule him out as the Sherrills replacement at gunner simply because of his skill set, you know? And Latavius Murray, I mean, how big was Latavius Murray in 2017? I mean, Dalvin Cook goes down, you know, in I think the 4th game against the Lions, and now you got McKinnon and Murray, and they both came up so big to help the team get to the NFC title game.
Yeah, and I mean, Murray can help in the passing game. He is a willing pass protector, and he is a reliable pass catcher, and Sean Payton wants that in a running back, so a pretty solid replacement for Mark Ingram.
Yeah, not just 2017. 2018 wasn't a great season as far as wins and losses, but Latavius Murray had a pretty good season.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he showed when Dalvin Cook needed a breather, he was in there. When Dalvin wasn't ready to go early in the season, he was in there. So Latavius Murray is going to fit with Alvin Kamara pretty well.
Great job, guys. That's the winning formula from the TCO studios, Vikings and Saints, to kick off the preseason. For Wobby and Ron Johnson and everybody with the Vikings Entertainment Network, I'm Paul Allen. Thanks for watching.